Hey there, everybody. Tyler here, and welcome to South Park, Colorado. Today, we're going to be doing a little Let's Look at South Park and the Stick of Truth. This is the RPG that's been in development for some time, for some 4 or 5 years. Just came out today, March 4th, 2014, from Obsidian Entertainment and obviously South Park Studios. Before we dive into this too far, we got to get a word of warning out there for those that are offended by foul language and nudity. Go ahead and close this video, move on. This game definitely has both in it. Clearly, any nudity that I come across inside this video will be censored over, but the foul language will come through, and this game's just not going to be for you. What has basically gone on is South Park, the creators Matt and Trey. Is that the right guys? They're South Park, right? Not Family Guy. The South Park creators, I think it's Matt and Trey, have gone ahead and they've embraced the M-rated license, and they're going to go ahead and they're going to do a lot of the jokes and everything and visuals that they cannot do inside the TV series being on cable. So this game, it's going to be in your face. It's going to be a little raw and everything. It's understandable if you don't like that. Thanks for stopping by. For those of you hanging around, let's go ahead and let's explore some of South Park, Colorado. So here we are, we're in the town of South Park. Let's open up a map real quick and we'll get a quick look around. They have fairly faithfully recreated the entire town of South Park. So down here on this lower street, starting with this red house, I think is mine. Yep. Here's our house. We're a brand new kid that just moved into town. A no-name kid. My kid is named Powler, obviously. Here is Butter's house. Here is Cartman's house, and then we have Stan's, Kyle's, and Kenny's out here in the slum area. If we scroll the other way, we have a bunch of the other kids' houses. We have Jimmy's, there's Clyde's, Craig's. You get the general idea. Here's where most of the primary kids live and their parents. Now, the game is always stuck in this perspective, at least within South Park. So let's just say that way is facing north. These buildings on the south roads, the south sides of the roads, are not actually there. So this house, this house, this house, and this house, and so forth, they're not actually in the game. They're on the map, but they're not a place that you're going to be visiting, at least not that I have seen. But overall, the entire town of South Park is here. All the kids' houses, there's the the movie theater over here. There's Token's house, the really nice house, the shopping mall, town center. Down here is the school, the church, and everything. Pretty much all the structures you could imagine are now present and can all be visited at one time or another. Let's go ahead and we're going to close out of this. We're going to just go for a little walk around, see what we can come across. Oh, bird's nest, got to shoot the bird's nest. Whoops. Shoot the bird's nest. There we go. So, the game itself, the way I've broken it down so far in my mind, is we have two things. We have the game itself, and we have to question how well does it recreate the South Park TV series. Does it faithfully show the interactions between the kids, bring the characters along in a manner that you would expect, and do this in an entertaining way? And then you have the RPG side of it and the gameplay side of it and how well it does as a game. I can say so far right now, sitting about 3.5 hours into the game, it does both sufficiently well. Neither one is exceptional. Hang on, what's that? I can't pick up a power amount. There's a Chimpokemon in there. I want Chimpokemon. But I think I have to get into school to do that, and school's closed right now.
We've been getting reports of a bunny rabbit running.
But what was I saying? It does both of those fairly well without any major problems. There are some inconsistencies that some people will dislike. Oh, there's combat right there. Is he coming to fight me? Let's hold off on this for right now. There's we're not going to hang around. Sorry. There's something I want to show you there with the combat, but for right now, it's better that we continue on, and we'll come to combat a little bit later on in the video. Here's the school. Some kids playing out in front of it. Okay, so when the game first starts off, you create your own character, and you're a new student that moves to South Park, Colorado. Let's check out the community center. Oh, community center's closed. Oh, a bag, a bag.
If you refer a friend, Jimbo will waive the waiting period for handguns.
If you're, I don't know if you heard that. He said, but if you refer a friend, Jimbo will waive the waiting period for handguns. It's silly. There we go. Let's see. Health potion small and more schnapps. What was I saying? So when you first start out, you begin off by creating a character. Now this part of the game is actually a little light in my opinion. So you start off with a basic choose your skin tone type selection, and you have 4, maybe 5 different options, ranging from light to dark, and then one of them is a Jersey Shore spray tan color. From this, you then proceed and you get a basic face where you can give it different types of freckles or moles or whatever you want, followed by different glasses, and then hairstyles, hair colors, and then your clothing. Now, you notice in that I never said anything about gender. The game right off the bat forces you to be male. There is no option at female. In fact, the game seems to be exclusively written with a male protagonist in mind. So you create your character and then you go ahead and jump into the game. Now, the options in terms of selecting hairstyles and stuff, there are maybe 25 different hairstyles with maybe 30 different outfits and maybe 24 so 24 or so, different clothes options inside of each hairstyle. So the options in that aren't all that great either. Now, luckily, the game does bring in more options. That's Al Gore back there. We'll come back and talk to him later. Does bring in more options in other ways later on that I will show you. But initial impressions of the character creation is they are rather light. Okay. After that, you get into the game, and in about 5 minutes or so, you end up... How do I do this? I want to... Thought there was a way I could... I don't know. You get into the game, and about, say, 15-20 minutes into the gameplay, you then get the option to select your class, which is one of 4. You either can be a fighter, a mage, a thief, or a Jew. The Jew is basically the paladin or the healer of the group, as you might expect. I wonder if we can pick up another item in here from Mr. Slave. So...
Come back tomorrow, sweetie. I'm all booked up today.
Okay, we can't do that yet. He gave me a summon earlier where I could summon him to help me on one fight, and he actually helped me one-shot a fight that I was having trouble with, which was quite nice. Apparently there's a time period in the game I have not yet gone past. So once you choose your class, from what I have seen so far, that class selection is the only real choice I have made in the game so far that I feel was a choice. Other than that, it's pretty much been a go fest, collect fest, and so forth. Now, this isn't entirely a knock on it, but when we come back later on and we talk about the value of the game, this will come up. So you create your class, and then you're off questing for Eric Cartman. The main story revolves around him with the Stick of Truth versus these elven guys. I'm not telling you anything you don't find out in the first 10 minutes. Just calm down before you freak out. And that is the primary quest. But within that, you wander around the town, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to get a whole bunch of other quests. And this is where the game actually really, so far, seems to shine. The town, the character interactions, the voice acting, all of this is top-notch and really feels like part of the South Park universe. You have the aesthetic, obviously, boom, that's spot on. But when we hear the interactions of different characters...
Report any suspicious activity to the police. That's what I do. You're pretty small for a grown man. Oh!
Throw a snowball at him. I'm going to try to find us some interactions. But the It's clear that Matt and Trey came in and did most of the voice acting to make sure it came across very well, and it is surprisingly well done. When you hear Kenny and Cartman go at it, it sounds just like they do in the show. Butters is one of the primary characters, and he is hilarious as always. They have everybody's voice acted, and so far I think they've all been AAA, the main actors. And all of this is great, which is good news because the RPG side of the game isn't as terrific. It's not terrible, but it does feel a bit like a B game. And we'll explain that as we get into it a little bit more. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at my class. So the whole game revolves around this, which is Facebook. And as you go through the game, you go ahead and you acquire friends, and they're going to go ahead and give you different things on this. For example, when you first start off with, there'll be mixtures in here of just people saying random stuff, like Token, my class is a healer, you just can't change to a black... Oh, he's talking to Cartman, we don't want to go into all of that. But you'll get little tidbits of things going on here. There will also be the occasional hint about a certain quest going on, or if somebody needs a quest done to let you know to come find him. If we move over here, here is the inventory screen. And this is where you can customize your character a bit more than you could before. Hold on a sec. Sorry about that. Had to scratch my ear. So if I come in here and, let's take off all my armor, you will see there was my base character that I created. This was all I could do. He's got no glasses. That would be about the only thing else I could have put on, or I could have picked some different parts of the face. Well, once you get your main character, you can then come through and do some other customization with items that you find within the game. For example, there's a whole bunch of hairdos that aren't available initially that you can find in the game. There's a monk headband. Let's see, we got braids. We got the untidy wig. 80s action hero wig, bangs, and so forth. But you can see there is some customization here. And if I wanted to, I could probably make this guy look quite a bit like a woman. Now, they would continue to call him, no matter what throughout the game, but you could make a playable female-looking character if you wanted to. And this is only, like I said, about 3.5 hours into the game. So I imagine by the time you're done, there's going to be a lot of hair combinations and everything that you can go through. Let's go with the monk one. Let's see, let's find some glasses for him. Not the 3D, no. Those coffin ones I was wearing, they kind of remind me of something from Trigun. I don't know why. Get a monocle. Sporty glasses. The monocle would look really good with this headband. Let's see, accessories. We can get bags under our eyes, we can get a double chin, eye paint. Oh, there we go. Rosy cheeks, starface paint. No, I don't really like any of those. Let's give him some kind of... the bird's nest beard? No. That's kind of not bad. Evil Cartman. The Klingon beard. So forth. Anyway, you get to see there is some more customization outside of your initial character creation that you can do. We'll see as the game moves on how much more we get. So far, I've been a little unimpressed. And here we also get to choose our weapons and everything that you have picked up. I've been running the level 4 Club of Smiting in this, and so forth. Standard RPG affair that you might expect. Let's put on, I don't like the name of this, KKK armor. It's just more Road Warrior than KKK, but you know, it's South Park. They're going to do what they're going to do. There we go. We have all of that. We're geared up and we're ready to go again. So there's your customization and everything. There is some beyond visual customization. There is some abilities and everything you get. Let's go ahead and we'll hop over here to the abilities tab. So when I first chose my warrior, whoops, come back to the abilities tab, I got these two abilities, Assault and Battery and Rochambeau. Assault and Battery, basically I use a baseball bat to hit a baseball at kids, and if I can hit the ball correctly, I can knock a bunch of them down in a line, and then I can go up and beat one of the kids up with a bat. Rochambeau is pretty popular with South Park. It's rock, paper, scissors, kick in the nuts. I will be unlocking more of these as we go along. This will unlock at level 6, which I think I'm 2 levels away from, a level 9, and then level 11. These are my abilities based off of my class. Then, if I come over here, here are perks I can get as I go through the game. So far, I've unlocked these 4 perks, and we're getting a few more. Now, most of these perks, I have just kind of chosen base stats items and everything, based off of just standard stuff. I got extra health, I got extra melee damage, I got extra PP, which is my basically your mana, and I have more damage for my ranged. The way you get points for unlocking these perks is based off how many friends you have. So if you look in the upper right hand corner of the screen now, you'll see perks available, new friends needed for next perk. So as you go around throughout the game and meet people, some people just straight up just meeting them will become your friend. They'll friend you on Facebook. Other ones you'll have to do a quest for, and then after you complete a quest, they'll become your friend on Facebook. And then yet other ones, there's a few that I've come across where they won't be your friend until you have so many friends. It's kind of, there was a popularity episode with Kyle friending, I forget the kid's name, but he friended some kid who had no friends, and then he lost friends. They play that type thing with the game. So the more friends you have, the more perks you unlock and the more you can get. And then there's magic. The magic, as of right now, I only have this one spell, which is my monster fart or dragon shout. Knock on, obviously, Skyrim, where I can fart very explosively and so forth. So those are your combat customizations. You have your inventory slots that are going to change your looks and give you your armor, and then you're going to have abilities from leveling up, perks from becoming friends, and I don't honestly know what gives me more magic. If we come over here, if we come over here to collectibles, we can see all the friends I currently have in the game. I currently have 25 friends. There's Butters, and we got Dougie, we got Officer Barbrady, and so forth. We have their Archim Pokemon collectibles you can get as you go around. So far, this is all I've found, only about 6 or so. Here's some of the equipment you can find. I got a gas mask, I got some other stuff. You get a general idea. And then there's quest items you can come across also, mostly keys and such. Okay, so we got all of that. Let's go ahead and let's start looking for some combat to fight in, if I can find some. Where was that? This is the park. I know there's normally some up by the graveyard. So far, like I was saying, the South Park elements of the game, the art direction, the story, the chitter chatter, the talk, the communication between the kids, all of that seems very much South Park and has been very good. If a bit harsher than the standard stuff we see in the TV series, because it's not because it is M-rated and not PG for cable. So there is a bit more harshness to it. But all of that has been pretty darn spectacular and very, very well done. As for the rest of the game, the gameplay, I would kind of put this as a B video game from what I've experienced in my 3.5 hours. First off, the control system is adequate. It's not terrible, but at least something to be lacking. And it's kind of funny, half the game I would prefer to play with keyboard and mouse, half the game I'd prefer to play with controller. So moving around the town like this and everything, it's easier with the controller. Since the controller gives me I have a joystick so I can move in angles and everything a lot easier rather than W, A, S, and D. However, moving around in combat is easier, or commanding in combat is easier done via the keyboard and mouse in my experience. So the combat is, as soon as we can find some and get into it, where were those kids we saw? They're probably not there anymore. They randomly spawn in certain areas. The combat is semi-turn based with real-time input required.
There's some weirdo hanging out at the public storage.
So it's at its heart, it is a turn-based combat game where you give your attack orders and everything, and then you execute them off, and you see what happens, and then they get to go and everything. Where there's a little more input into it is you get some other things, like you have the option of when you're being attacked that you can put up a block, and if you time your block correctly, you can reduce the amount of damage you take by about 50 to 70%, something like that. I'm not exactly sure the numbers. When you're attacking something, if you hit the cat, if you hit a certain combo with your buttons and everything as you're attacking on a certain, if you activate your key items at the right time, you'll do more damage, or in some cases, if you don't do it, you won't do any damage at all. That's closed. Ah, here we go. Here's some druids. These are elves. These are our primary enemies in the
Oh,
game.
you want some of this?
So let's go ahead and let's jump into combat, and we'll see a little bit of what's going on. Okay, so here we are. We are now in combat. Right now you can see the game is kind of paused. It's waiting for me to give an input. And I have several different options. I can use my magic. I can examine, which is basically like inspect. My melee weapon, ranged weapon, abilities,
watching TV right
summons. This is where I was talking about Mr. Slave. I summoned him. And then items. Unlike a lot of turn-based RPGs,
That sucks.
items and buffs can be used during a turn without using up your entire turn. So, for example, if Kenny was hurt, I could come in here and I could give him a health potion and then still attack without losing my turn.
Stop dicking around.
Okay, fine, we're going to go ahead. So, what I'm going to do right now is... Hang
We're still
on.
doing
So
this,
when
right?
weapon flashes, that or that, press A or X or Y for a fart. Basically what I got going on here is
You're not waiting
this
for me,
is
are
what
you?
can happen while playing the game. So I'm going to target this guy, and I'm going to give him my command. And I'm going to come running over here, and when I get that flash, I can then hit my button to increase the damage. Had I not hit A on that point, he would have only done a single attack instead of a double attack, and he also would not have... He wouldn't have... It wouldn't have done as much damage. Each attack would have been weaker than the previous. Let's take a look at one of Kenny's abilities. Oh, Fury Friends and Royal Kisses. I don't know this one. Let's try this one.
Let's go.
So hold A until Kenny sparkles. There we go. So we just put basically a debuff on the kid, making him grossed out. He will now be weaker as we fight him. He also took some damage. Now here comes one of his attacks, so I'm going to want to defend it right there, right there, right there. So I only actually blocked the middle one. I was pretty bad on my timing, but you get the idea. It's not pure timing based where you don't get to do anything. Actually, Kenny
I have to go to the
poisoned
bathroom.
himself. That was pretty bad. Let's go ahead and try this. Oh, he's riposting, which means I can't do anything. Alright, can you just shoot arrows at him? There we go, there's 3 hits, he's almost done. Now, since I managed to block all 3 of his, I got a free counterattack at the end of it. So there you get a little idea of the basics of the combat and the timestamps, or the button presses involved with it. It's not, at least right now, it's not overly deep. It may get deeper as time goes on. It's hard to say. On the surface, I don't see much of a possibility for a lot more. Let's check out the city walk, see what's going on. Actually, before we start this, I'm going to turn the voice options back up so you can hear what they're saying a little bit more. Let's come in, master volume, we'll bring this back up to 90. Apply, accept. There's some elves in here.
Alright, welcome to Shitty Walk. Take an order, please. Only thing we're serving today is Mongolian beef. Mongolian beef, so good. Oh, I just love it. Oh, hello, Mongolian. Shh. Mongolians are watching. They conquered me last week. Act natural. Oh, yeah, Mongolian beef. So tasty, right? Wow. It's not tasty at all. It's gross. Don't eat it. You eat a Mongolian beef, you shit your pants for 5 days. All right, Mongolian. Please, you gotta help me out. The Mongolians all live like rats in the Tower of a Peace next door. I'll keep the adults occupied here. You go top a tower and beat up all their kids. Beat up all the Mongolian kids. Then Mongolian think this neighborhood not a safe place. They move away. Go, go, beat up the little Mongolian kids. Oh, hello, Mongolian. Mongolian beef smell like a Rhino Richie's asshole.
So now we could buy some Mongolian beef if we wanted. We'll go ahead. This looks like a side quest. We will follow this side quest. That way we don't spoil any of the main storyline. And we don't need to buy anything. Okay, so new quest, Mongolian beef. We now have a key to the tower. Let's go ahead and beat up this druid too.
Excuse me.
Hey, no fighting in here.
Oh, we can't fight in
Hey,
here.
no fighting in here.
Look at their beef. It's got green smell coming off of it. Oh, yes. South Park. Is there anybody else in here I can talk to? Well, where are those Mongolians? They just showed me a bunch of Mongolians, didn't they? I guess they're in a back room? Anyway. So, there you got some of the voice acting. Ooh. He surprised me. Alright, it's on this time. We're just going to take him right out real quick. Let's do some Rochambeau to this guy. There we go.
Not
I might have killed him right outright. Yep, there. He's almost dead. And Kenny, let's charm this one. So here's Kenny doing his charm. Actually, I want to read the commands for it. There we go. Oh boy, this game is so sick. Okay, is he gonna attack? And now you get that in the back. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna get a flawless victory. Now he's riposting, so I don't want to attack. I'm gonna throw my snowballs at him instead. Let's see. Press. There we go. That was like a flawless victory, I think. No, don't go back. Dang it. I wanted to loot their bodies, not go back in there. Luckily, the load times on this overall are pretty darn good. I've not had any major trouble. They're, for the most part, under 10 seconds. I would say a lot of them are under 5 seconds. Let's head over here, and we're going to head up into the Tower of Peace and beat up his kids. The Mongolians' kids. Ah, yes. Hey! Alright, here's a good spot. I was talking about one of my abilities is the assault and battery. So you can see there's 2 kids in a line there. I can try to use this to take them both out. Now, I'm really bad with this attack. So I'm going to throw the ball up, and then I have to hit it on the way down. And nope, I just hit the kid with the baseball bat. Kenny. Ooh, you're rat one. This will do pretty good. Shake left and left. So create a tidal wave of rats. Hit all of them. Now they're all bleeding. Oh, he's gonna throw in that. Nice block. Ah! Kenny's on fire. Kenny's on fire. Alright, Hound down. Let me give you a cure potion. I think this will put out water. Yeah, negative status effects. There we go. Now he's not on fire anymore. Alright, can I do one more? Let's try this one more time. Up. And now! There we go. Now they're both down. Good job. I just congratulated myself, I think. That's some victory. So this is a lot of the combat. This is what I see being the game over and over, and it's kind of a little bit of my concern. And let's go ahead, before this starts to drag on, let's talk about the overall impressions. So I am a fairly big South Park fan. I don't consider myself a huge nut of it, but I'll admit, if I am, let's turn the sound back down real quick. If I'm flipping through channels with nothing to watch, and I notice that it's on, I will watch this over most other shows. I'm not going to watch, I don't know, CSI or Law and Order or any of those. I'm going to watch South Park. I've seen most of the episodes, so I suppose I am a bigger fan, hey, than I really expect to be. And as a South Park fan, I so far really like the voice acting. I like the story, while so far has not engaged me. There's enough little story elements going on with enough silly elements that I'm really quite liking it. Rochambeau. Whoops. Did that too quick. Alright, that didn't work. Let's try to take this guy out. Kenny. This is gonna hurt. Took one of those. Kenny's hurt. He's hurt bad. Let's try this one more time. Let's do this one, actually. There we go. Got the stun off. Oh, and I forgot the follow-up kick. Oh, I'm stupid. And I should have actually used this on Kenny first. Let's use a large health potion on him. And then, so hold A until Kenny sparkles. There we go. Nope, I didn't do that right either. Okay, so the South Park story, those elements are all very good. The problem with the game is the combat and everything else. Well, it's not bad, it's just kind of average. The controls aren't bad, they're just kind of average. The combat's not bad, it's just kind of average. The customization's not bad, it's just kind of average. And that's kind of what I've come across as... Whoops, what am I... I wanted to... Okay. We'll set off bottle rockets, apparently. Who's this kid? Oh, guess that was another one I beat up. MSG. There's browse fools at MSG. Ooh, a Chimpokemon. Come here. Chimpokemon. And that's kind of where my concerns with this game lie. I don't know if you are a South Park fan like I am. If you're someone that enjoys South Park, you will probably find quite a bit of enjoyment here. If you're just looking for an RPG, whoops, wrong button. Here we go. Shoot an arrow. Block that. Good. Okay, Kenny's low, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to give him a health potion small first. Good. And then we're going to do our baseball bat on this guy. Okay. Wait for it. Now! Yeah! Yeah! Take that, kid. And I want Kenny to actually do his furry friends again. Here we go. Wait for it now. I think if I screw that up, Kenny just dies. He gets eaten by rats. Now I'm on fire. This isn't good. Ah! We're both on fire. Alright, hang on. Stay in. Calm down. Okay, you're fine, you're fine. Let's go ahead and... Heavy hit, that'll work. But if you're just looking for a good RPG, I don't think this game is going to carry you. In fact, it's probably going to leave you wishing for a lot more. It's designed... This game is more a South Park fan dream than it is an RPG, I think is the best way to describe it. Did I just beat up all the kids, or is there more up here? I do see there's something sparkling out here. Ah, there we go. Can I not hit it? Oh, there's something broken here. Requires dragon tail. Where's the dragon tail? Oh, it's right there. So we want to come over here, we want to hit that. Then we're going to pick up the dragon tail. Set off some more rockets, because why not? Okay. Throw that. Throw that. There we go. Now we can go beat up the last set of kids, probably. The other thing that I have concerns is I've heard the game is only... Oh, this is going to be fun. Time for... we can't summon him on a boss. Okay, we need to... Is this more than one guy, or is this considered one guy? No, it's considered one guy. Alright, let's Rochambeau. Come on, buddy. I did it too quick. Nope. And I missed it again. I am so bad at that. I can probably, though, not Royal Kiss, Charm them. Kenny's charming a bunch of Mongolians. Oh, how bad is it? Alright, you got that. And let's send your wave of rats. There we go, they're bleeding. Here come a bunch of arrows. Wait. I blocked some of them. Now everybody's bleeding. Let's see here. Kenny's gonna need a potion. Give him some chips. Can we do one more? Let's try one more. See if I can pull it off this time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Kick. There we go. Did that stun him? Apparently bosses can't be stunned. That's not good. He's out, so we're now doing this. Kenny, use a cure potion so you stop bleeding. And okay, we're doing pretty well. What was I saying? So I've heard also that the game is only somewhere between like 14 and 18 hours long, depending on how quickly you play it, how much of the content you skip, and everything. So if I look at it like this, we have a game with very little choice. It's going to be extremely linear, right? There's basically the only choice so far that I have found is you have 4 classes. Beyond that, I don't see any variations in the story to cause you to want to replay it or anything. I see a game that's kind of short. I'm honestly not sure I would want to pay $60 for this game. I think it seems like more of a $40 game than a $60 game. And that's not to say it's bad, I just don't know if the longevity for this game is there to justify its price tag, especially when we have coming out in just a week, we have Dark Souls 2 and Titanfall coming out. Yeah, we beat the Mongolians. And that's my initial impressions of the game right now. Very good South Park story, true to the heart of South Park, over top of an adequate RPG that is short on variation, which is going to make it short on replayability, and so forth. So I think beating the Mongolian horde at the top of the Peace Tower is a good way to call it. This has been Powler. We've been playing South Park and the Stick of Truth. Thanks for watching.